Hey everybody, I got a quick update for you. Sorry it's been a couple days, it's been a very busy week for me, but I wanted to get into a couple things going on here in the market. We've got a pretty good green day, despite a couple of small caps, but we're going to look at that. We're also going to look at what the SPY is doing. It did break out of a long downtrend that started in 2021, and we're also going to look at what's going on with CPI. Now let's get right into this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It definitely helps me out a lot. Consider joining my membership. It's $2 a month, and let's look at some things. Now I've got TradingView's heat map here pulled up for you. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can access this, but you can see just, the overall market is definitely pretty green. We do have a couple of red outliers. Tesla finally cooling down a little bit, but it's interesting that we're seeing such a green day in anticipation of CPI coming out tomorrow. Maybe we're suspecting some better numbers. It seems like the tides are shifting, and we are, at least the market is expecting lower and lower inflation as we move forwards, and a less hawkish Fed. Now I will leave this article down below for you. It goes over a couple of things, and it also mentions the last Fed meeting and how Jerome Powell said that the disinflation process has begun. And it even says here that the market is not as scared of CPI reports anymore, as the annual rate of inflation has fallen for 6 months in a row. Are we going to continue to see that decrease in inflation? I do suspect so. Economists that were polled by Wall Street Journal expect a 0.4% increase in the January CPI, which would slow the year-over-year rate to 6.2 from 6.5 in December. And we have been definitely cooling off from our peak of 9.1%, which was a 40-year high, and this was over summer. Now, Jay Hatfield mentions that core CPI might print hotter than expected due to essentially the volatile component of used cars, and their data shows used car inflation is actually going up, not down. I personally gotta disagree, at least just looking at what I've been seeing. I've been definitely seeing used car prices coming down, but let me know if you guys are on the search for used cars. Have you been seeing lower prices or higher prices lately? Now, Louis Navellier, founder and chief investment officer of Navellier and Associates, says he's paying particular attention to owner's equivalent rent, which is part of the shelter component of CPI. Now, its rise accelerated from November to December, and this is one thing that he sees that the Fed really does want to see fall, because that's the last bit of inflation that we need to fall. So it's going to be important to see how rents are going. Are rents going up? Rents going down? And I actually wanted to mention something here. Complicating the picture of the January report, we'll see the Bureau of Labor Statistics introduce new weightings for its calculation of the CPI. The Bureau has changed its methodology from using consumption data during a 2-year period to only 1 year to weight the CPI components. And you see that mentioned here, starting with January 2023 data, the BLS, or Bureau of Labor Statistics, plans to update weights annually for the Consumer Price Index based on a single calendar year of data. Now, what did we see throughout all of 2022 and the tail end of 2021? Well, we saw very, very high inflation. And by them not going over a 2-year basis, I think that does skew the numbers a bit. And we're going to see tomorrow to find out. Now, maybe the market's taking this little piece of news as a potential positive for CPI, expecting lower and lower CPI moving forwards, because we have much higher inflation to compare against. Now, I did want to show you the SPY and just show you that we did break out of this longer term downtrend that was established at the tail end of 2021. And I personally think we're going to have to maintain this $415 area and break out of 430 to have kind of a definitive move. I think the market's still a little uncertain, and of course CPI can definitely, play a factor here with the SPY. If CPI comes in better than expected, lower inflation, then we can definitely continue upwards, break out of this previous top here. It is definitely encouraging to see that we did break these last previous peaks here. It's just a matter of us to continue higher and break through the next levels up. Now, as for the downside, I personally think if we do break under 400, we're back trading under this channel. That would not be good to see. You don't want to see the SPY go under 400 in my eyes, but it is definitely nice to see that ever since the beginning of 2023, we have been blasting higher. But how are you guys feeling about the market lately? What do you think CPI will give us? Are we going to continue to see this disinflation? Or is the market just rallying in hopes of it, only to be crushed down further? Always curious about your thoughts. Thanks as always, guys, and have a good day.